Welcome to our podcast, episode 54 on Genshin Impact. So, today I'm going to talk about Genshin Impact because I feel like this game gets a lot of undeserved hate for no particular reason. There are plenty of games with microtransactions. Uh, Player games that like Genshin, but actually you have to pay for them. So I don't understand why people hate on the game so much. Like whenever they mention Genshin Impact. It's like they're talking about the goddamn plague or something. Like, it's Genshin Impact. I hate that game. It killed my parents. Like, what are you on about? Like, every game deserves to be judged fairly. Sure, it has, like, microtransaction stuff. So does many other games still, and I don't like it, but that one, like, small aspect shouldn't be taking down, like, the game. Although I will admit, the prices for the outfits, they're like $40 or something. Boy, maybe not 40, but they're still like $30 or something. They're very expensive for just one skin. So yeah, that's painful. But I'm here to represent the good and to try and convince some of the haters to not diss the game. Some also may say it's grindy. I do admit it's kind of a grindy game, but there's lots of grinding games where the game rolls around some grindy element where you gotta grind a lot of resources and stuff for unlocking the next stage. But there's other games that do that. And yeah, again, Genshin's free. Not using that as an excuse, but Genshin is free. Like, there's probably other grindy games that cost money and also have microtransactions. So you gain this game for free. You don't have to spend money, and like the grinding aspect. Like if you really don't like grinding, like then don't play Genshin. It's simple as that. Like, bruh. One thing, like people tend to like actually acknowledge is like Genshin Impact looks visually good, and it does look visually good. It's a good looking game. It's not a potato game. It actually looks cool and uses like color very well, and it's very visually interesting, and you feel like the world is full of life, and you know like the the next like negative thing some people make it say negative is story and say it may be cliche. Boy, every story is cliche. Even me, I'll admit my own story is kinda cliche. Light versus darkness, yes. We know this. We've seen it a million times, but how I'm how I try to do my stories, trying to make it a unique world that you can get invested in. And that's the same as Genshin Impact or any story. You try and add some flavor to it. You try to add that flavor, you know, you know, uh, add that sauce, so that isn't just the same ideas being repeated, that you're trying to add your own uniqueness to it. So for those who say the story is uninspired and unoriginal in Genshin Impact, that's every story. My story is inspired from games I've played and other stories that I've seen. It takes direct inspiration. Same as Genshin Impact would do the same. Same as any single game. Nothing is without inspiration, like ideas from someone else. Like someone else made those ideas possibly like centuries or even millennia ago. It's just being reiterated on and recontextualized and restirred to the like fit with the modern times. It's always changing. It's always going to be different, even though some things will never really be the same. There'll be the same tropes, the same character, like archetypes, whatever. You always have some sort of villain, whatever, and yeah. But I don't think Genshin Impact deserves, like, some of, like, that dislike that it's got because, like, sure, it may seem like Breath of the Wild clone, but it's got its own unique charm and its own unique things that it's trying to do. Like, it's trying, like any other thing, any other game, it's trying. It's trying to be unique, different, try and like iterate to make things better because you can never make anything perfect, but you can always try and iterate and try to make it your own and try to make it a masterpiece. Do I think it's a masterpiece? No, not necessarily, but I think with what it does have, it does a very good job. I think it's an A tier game, maybe not S tier. The main things that hold it back are grinding, microtransactions, and like generic fluff, like story that doesn't really matter, those side quests that no one ever really cares about. Like, and speaking of side quests, Genshin Impact actually does do a good job because, like, it tries to have those side stories that you can unlock with the keys. Once you've done quests, you unlock a part of a key, and then if you do enough, you unlock a full key, and then you can unlock those story missions as like extra things to learn more about those characters. So if you really like a certain character, you can do that mission on them. So it's a nice thing to add something new. Even though you have to do missions for it, some generic missions, it all pays off once you get to the thing. I've been speaking for a long time. My voice is dying. But, yeah. All I'm saying is Genshin Impact is good. It's it's maybe great, maybe to some. Me, it's just good. So like 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like it's good, but definitely like has room to improve. And adding, since it's adding new things, it is improving. It's adding new things like the build thing and that, or that the new regions and stuff, and finally added Dendro. Uh, so it's getting better. So it's not quite a masterpiece yet, but has the possibility to be one. Like with once it has all 7 regions, whatever, it has the possibility. And that's all I'm saying. Give it a fair chance. Anyway, this our podcast was more of a rant than me talking about the game, but I still talked about the elements of the game. Also, music's pretty good. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode of the Owl podcast. But I didn't hate characters. Let's have a brief talk about characters and then I'll end it. I generally like the characters, although some are definitely designed to probably get your money from you. You probably know the ones like Rosaria, is that the one? Yeah, but the nun, who's also like hot, so they're definitely waifus. But yeah, yeah, but yeah, the characters are, yeah, again, so it relates back to the story. Yeah, again, they're pretty unique, and Genshin is trying, and yeah, I like the characters, but yeah. Anyway, I think that'll finally do it for the podcast. So thank you all for watching this episode of the Hour Podcast. Until next time, peace.